first cause for concern that comes to mind when thinking of biological risks is naturally occurring pandemics, which have historically been the largest catastrophes that humanity has suffered, far outweighing any other disaster, natural or man-made. The 1918 flu pandemic led to around 50 million deaths in a couple of years, dwarfing the effects of World War I or any other man-made event. In the 14th century, the Black Death killed more than a quarter of the population of Europe. And smallpox killed an estimated 500 million people in the 20th century alone. These numbers are hard to fathom, and tragically, far too easy to forget whenever we go through a few decades without a pandemic. But these cases are not a fluke. According to the Disease Control Priorities Initiative, a collaboration of the World Bank, Gates Foundation, Washington University, and others, every year there is a 3% chance of a flu killing 400,000 people or more. Even more troublingly, when we look at how flu and other epidemics tend to behave, they follow what's called a long-tailed distribution. What does that mean? While many phenomena in the real world tend to bunch up close to their average values, like human height or the average result from throwing many dice, some things don't. In some cases, we'd expect to see enormous outliers, outcomes that are far, far larger than the average. In the case of epidemics, while larger and more deadly epidemics are less common than more minor ones, even extremely more dangerous epidemics are not that much less likely. So we should expect truly terrible pandemics to still turn up from time to time. In fact, according to the DCP, every year there's a 1 in 100 chance of an epidemic killing at least 6 million people. And there's a 1 in 1,000 chance of it killing 300 million or more. Now, 1 in 1,000 sounds like such a rare event that maybe we can just ignore it. But in fact, based on our best estimates, this leads to hundreds of thousands of fatalities in expectation every year. And the vast majority of those deaths, well over 90%, are due to events where many millions of people die. So humanity has been vulnerable to extreme pandemics for many centuries. And it doesn't seem like we've managed to prevent or contain the largest pandemics yet. Of course, so far, the most significant pandemic in this century is COVID-19, which is estimated to have caused about 20 million excess deaths. For epidemiologists, people who study diseases and how they are found, spread, and controlled, COVID is not a freak accident. It's exactly what you'd expect to happen about once a century. This all gives us a pretty robust case for the importance of pandemic preparedness and response being pretty high. But the risk landscape is changing rapidly, because in recent decades, humans have gained the ability to create our own world-changing pandemics. Let's talk about whether we're managing that awe-inspiring power responsibly.